Hello everybody and welcome back to the Sportsman Bet. My name is Stephen Howson, this is Anton. This is your betting preview for this weekend. We're talking the sack race, we've got free bets to give away, we're talking the best bets of the weekend and everything else. Anton, what are we going with first?
Yeah, I'm in quite a good mood today, Steve.
Oh, aye.
You might have seen LG's announced a gig in Manchester at Heaton Park.
Scout.
I'll be there.
We were just discussing this morning, on a serious note, we're not having a Christmas party. So it was like, why don't we have our Christmas party then, in June?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
I don't know if it's Christmas jumper weather, but...
Out there in the sunshine.
Sunshine.
I'll have a bit of that. But as usual, kick things off by giving a £20 free bet away, courtesy of Betfair.
Cheers, Betfair.
Last week, we asked, where will Spurs finish in the league? And we had a few replies on that one. And Lewis Usell predicted that they'll finish 7th. Ooh. So you've got a £20 free bet.
Just because we went, that's why. I think 6th. I think still going to finish 6th. They've wobbled a bit in the Champions League this week. They wobbled a bit against
some of that
West
defending
Ham.
That first half were very suspect, weren't it?
Jose's got to get his teeth into him just yet, but you know.
Get it sorted. But well done, Lewis. You've got a £20 free bet coming your way. Get in touch and we'll send that over to you. And Man United, they were away at Sheffield United last Sunday. 3-3 draw. How was the game, Steve?
Garbage for 70 minutes. Rate good for 10.
I only saw the first 20 minutes. And what was Phil Jones doing there?
It's a great question. Well presented. What was he doing there?
What was he doing
there? I don't think going to a back three, in hindsight, was the best move. I thought logically it made sense because you go, right. But ultimately, it goes down to the selection of who you was going to play. Now, it isn't like United had a million midfielders, like the who's who of people that could lace up in centre mid. But he went with Fred and he went with Pereira. They're the only two Brazilians that can't pass to each other on the planet. After going with those two, it makes a hell of a lot of sense to pull in a back three and have someone with a bit more defensive mindedness behind him. You could argue that it just wasn't the right move to go with those two in the first place. But in going to a back three, Axel Tuanzebe couldn't play 90 minutes, as he said himself. You'd think you could rely on Phil Jones in a situation like this to come in and not totally widget up.
Yeah.
But that's exactly what he did. He got totally bullied. He just looked like a fish out of water.
He was doing front crawl, weren't he, off at time?
Mate, he just looked like you'd ask him to do long division. And he was just like, he just totally lost, wasn't he? So I think a combination of... We tried to adapt to a formation. We haven't played a lot. Sheffield United know exactly what they're doing. Yeah. They're extremely well drilled, and they are a handful for people currently at the moment as well. You can't take that away from them. A combination of all the above, and the fact that we had a couple of players that just didn't perform, a couple of players that aren't capable of performing, and we were in trouble.
So looking ahead, would you be making changes for the Villa game on Sunday?
Still don't know what the situation with McTominay is, because Solskjaer gives a really accurate sort of, it's going to be 2 weeks to 8 weeks out. Cheers, lad. So I've no idea when he's due back. No idea when Matic could be due back. No idea when any of these are due back. But what I will say is, if it's the same sort of situation going into that game as it was at the weekend, we have to go with midfield free somehow. We have to try and squeeze Mata in there, maybe. We have to try and squeeze something else in there that isn't just that back three. And maybe attack is our best form of defence while we're in this sort of state. Because the forward three, they are getting some goals together amongst them now. Rashford's on fire, 10 goals in his last 11 games, 3 assists. Can't really argue with that.
Fair play to the lad. And having a look at the prices for United v Villa on Sunday, we've got United 1.52, Villa 7.4 and the draw 4.5.
Villa are a big price there. They're in really good form.
They've not done bad. A nice little win from against Newcastle on Monday night there, despite Newcastle's strikers being absolutely lawful. Almiron's end products. I don't know what they're going to do with that.
That's what's putting them in trouble. Losing Perez and not having anybody else that can score a goal, that'll be ultimately what seals their fate. If they go down, that's why. 7
of the last 9 goals have come from defenders, which could be a bit of value if you're back in Newcastle there. I saw on Monday night, Kieran Clark was 16-1 to score any time with Bet365. Sky William Hill, Bet Victory was only 6-1 with all them. Newcastle defenders could be a decent little angle for you. But do you have a bet for the Man United Villa game on Sunday?
I don't know why, it's got a hunch for 3-1.
Hunch for 3-1, let's have a look at the prices. We're looking at about 12-1, 13s on the Betfair Exchange. I might even get a bit bigger. So you're going for a 3-1 win there on
United
Sunday.
Win. Fancy that?
Yeah, I'm with you there. And we're going to move on. It's been quite an exciting month for the sack race. We obviously,
has it?
Has it. Oh, through the roof with the numbers. But we've had Poch out, Mourinho in, and it's all going off.
Is Mourinho on the list?
No, he's not actually there at the moment on this one, but I'm sure you'll be able to find him somewhere. 100 to 1 he will be to be the next manager to leave. But we've got Unai Emery, the 1 to 2 favourite to be the next manager to leave.
I think he goes first.
Closely followed by Marco Silva, 7 to 2, Pellegrini 10 to 1, Sanchez Flores 12s, Oli 21, Nonsense gets out, Hassan Hootel 33 to 1, and Nuno Santo 50.
I think Steve Bruce is probably closer.
Steve Bruce 66. So let's have a look at who these favourites are playing this weekend. We've got Arsenal are away at Norwich on Sunday at 2 p.m.
Should win. Even though I like to take the mickey out of Arsenal, but they should win that.
They should.
If they don't, though, I don't know if I genuinely go with 2 to 1 or 1 to 2 for Emery.
That's too short for me.
Yeah, well too short. But if he lost that, then that might be right.
Definitely.
He might go.
Everton away at Leicester.
That's not a win for Everton.
No,
they are not winning that. Not at all.
That's on Sunday as well. But 3 p.m. Saturday, West Ham are away at Chelsea. I know you're not too keen on Pellegrini. You don't think he's going to be gone next. But
no, I don't think Pellegrini will go.
I think if they're taking absolute tonking there off Chelsea, Pellegrini at 10 to 1 could be a decent bit of value. But you're almost siding with Sanchez Flores, and Watford take on Southampton at 5:30 on Saturday.
They are finitoed, right? So if they believe that Sanchez Flores is going to be a guy that can pull them back up, then they might keep him. If they're thinking, we'll get someone else in, we'll start a rebuild, and that's how we're going to come back up, then you might as well give the guy the bullet ahead of January so the next guy can get something in with a mind to helping you get back up rather than just doing it all in the summer. So I think the value, what's it there? 12 to 1?
12 to 1, Sanchez Flores.
I'd be well more tempted on that than Silva at 2 to 7. Or 7 to 2 even, and Unai Emery at 1 to 2. No one's putting money on that.
Definitely too short. And having a look
Not even Xhaka.
having a look at the next Arsenal manager market.
His troops on the list.
Paddy Power haven't priced this one up, it's from Betfair, but I imagine he's on theirs.
Yeah, Paddy Power have definitely got him on.
Nuno Santo, 5 to 4 favourite.
Be mental if he went there.
Some money's come in there. Yeah. I can't see it myself. I cannot see it. I think he's got too good a thing going on.
I think they want a bigger name. Freddie Lundberg might not be a bad shout.
And then you've got Arteta 10 to 1, but I don't think he'd leave in the middle of a season with Pep maybe.
Do you know what? I think City are unravelling.
Do you think?
Yeah, there's a lot of smoke going on around here. The fact that he was even allowed to, because he had the conversation about, apparently, Arteta's had a conversation about it.
Everton was this as well?
It might have been, yeah. So I know he's had a conversation about leaving. So I don't think that if everything's all rosy, that even is allowed to happen. So Arteta might not be a bad shout.
So that's for the Arsenal job. But I'd also heard rumours about Everton and their next manager, and David Moyes is the 4 to 6 favourite. I'd heard Moyes till the end of the season, and then they'll get Arteta in at the end of the season. But next Everton manager, we've got Moyes, 4 to 6, 4 to 6, 5.
Why would you go back? They've made all these noises about being a more forward-thinking, more progressive club, moving on, a modern football team. Why would you go and bring David Moyes back?
No, 1 step forward and 2 steps back.
Jesus
Nobody
Christ.
gets too far like that, as they once said on Grand Theft Auto. But you've also got Eddie Howe, 5 to 1. He's in the Mike Hughes.
Eddie Howe, if you're smart, is a better option, I think.
Yeah.
He's a man there that's going to prove he can play attractive, decent football on a good budget. If he's able to bring his own recruitment department, because I think what they've recruited there at Bournemouth has been...
I almost see him he's keeping his nose quite clean, is Eddie Howe. Maybe potentially for that England job.
He'll get thrown into the England mix when Southgate bounces. Is Southgate in the mix for any of these jobs? I think I've seen him for Arsenal, actually.
Gareth Southgate, 50 to 1 for Arsenal.
Was it Tottenham last week, wasn't it? I think we might have seen him for...
So he's 50 to 1 for both these jobs.
Okay, so that's a no.
Southgate.
That's a no then.
Anyway, Arteta, 6.
Louis van Gaal as Everton manager. Do you reckon he's got some unfinished business with United, doesn't he?
Really?
Not an happy bunny when they sacked him, and you can't blame him, really. Wins an FA Cup and anyway, got your fucking desk out, son.
And I believe you've got a little teaser of a question for us this week.
Oh, yeah, here's an absolute belter for you. Let me know in the comments, and maybe the first person to reply can win this week's free bet. How about
Definitely, £20 free bet if you can get this question. Go on, my mate. What is it?
Which player has won Premier League, Champions League, UEFA Cup, Olympic gold, and been relegated from the Premier League?
Been relegated as well from the
Took me a few guesses.
I'll have to have a think
Craig
about
Bellamy
that
was
one.
my first guess, but then I was like, has he? I don't think he was.
Nah, Wales and not Great Britain for the Olympic
win it.
medal. We didn't win it.
We did not win it.
We did not win it. But I've also got a couple of bets for you myself this weekend.
Here we go.
And the first one, you might have realised last week I went for a 1-1 draw with Wolves and Bournemouth. That was off the back of 50% of Wolves' games had been 1-1 this season in the Prem. Remarkable stat. 2-1 it was. Bournemouth had a red card. I were a bit hard done by there, I felt. But Wolves are at home to Sheffield United on Sunday this week. And I'm going for it again. I'm going for the 1-1 draw, priced at around 7s or 8s on the Betfair Exchange. And Sheffield United are actually the only unbeaten side away from home, apart from Liverpool this season,
they are.
which is a remarkable achievement
Punching.
for a newly promoted side. And I really can see this being a bit of a stalemate.
Do you know what?
On Sunday.
Unlike most teams, like you always get one team, don't you, that comes up as a flyer of a season. There's not exactly anyone like, no one's like scored a right load of goals. No one's like, who's the standout in this team? Who's the one that you go, big club's picking you up?
And I think
Nobody.
the word there is team.
Team.
And that's what they are. They're together. They're playing for.
Because you look at them and you go, well,
where's the quality? That's
not-
what you say
yeah,
when you first see the shit.
I'm not going to take any of your players, but together they're smashing it. Really hard to beat team.
Fair play. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw there with Wolves and Sheffield United on Sunday. And my second selection also on Sunday this week, Leicester at home to Everton in the Premier League. We know Marco Silva is
Got to be a slap in that.
under pressure, and Leicester they're unbeaten at home. They've won 5 out of 6 this season, and the stat that really got me here, in the last 4 Premier League games they've scored 15 and not conceded 1. All those 4 games they've won by a margin of 2 or more goals. So I am going for Leicester -1 handicap to win by 2 or more here. And this is priced at 2.7, 2.8, which is a nice little price for me. That's why I'll be wading in with me waders on come Sunday. And I think that about wraps it up for this week, Steve. And don't forget, comment below with either your answer to Steve's little teaser or your best bet, a prediction for the weekend. Could be anything. It could be the next Arsenal manager. Let us know below and we'll get a £20 free bet to one of you guys next week. I think that's about it, mate, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe in a bit.
See you there.